If it starts raining, I gotta grab this thing and move it underneath my porch.
It looks good.
I'm Reverend Peyton from Reverend Peyton's Big Damn Band, and y'all are watching the UK Americana Bar Show.
It don't mean a thing. Got a $3 shirt and $100 hat. My life is short. My guitar never flat. King of the laundromat. I got all the ways I just ain't got the means. Got all the blues, I just ain't got the green. I got all the ways, I just ain't got the means. Ask your mama, she'll say the same thing. I got all the ways, I just ain't got the means.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the UK Americana Bar Show. Thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate it. A wee while ago on Zoom, I interviewed Reverend Peyton from his Big Damn Band. He's based in Indiana, USA. He was telling us all about his fantastic new album called Honeysuckle, which I love that, very bluesy, folky country, absolutely brilliant. Plus life on the road of his wife, and when he came to the UK recently, when he played Glastonbury. He couldn't believe it. It was absolutely fantastic. You're going to love this. Part 1, Reverend Peyton. Check him out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UK Americana Bar Show. Thank you for joining us on this week's show. I have a very, very special guest, very holy actually, Sir Reverend Peyton from the Big Damn Band. How you doing, Reverend?
Doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day here in southern Indiana. How's the weather there right now?
It is actually very, very nice and very calm. I'm going to take these glasses off. I can't hardly see. Oh, there you are. You look much better with these off. How are you? Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I've got lots to ask you. You're from Indiana, is that right?
That's right, yeah, down in southern Indiana, the hills, a place called Brown County. It's very hilly here. It's like
Part 1.
Appalachian foothills. And, a lot of times people think of Indiana as being a flat place, but the northern part of the state is. But down here where I'm at, I'm like down in the boot. Indiana's kind of shaped like a boot. I'm down in the foot of the boot. So when you're down there, it's real hilly.
Yeah.
So we don't normally experience the tornadoes that they get in flatter places. But we had a tornado here just a few days ago that was absolutely devastating, and we ourselves personally are really lucky because it came very close to our house, but we were spared, thankfully, but not everybody in the county was. So we've had some really strange weather, but right now the sun is shining hot and beautiful.
Looks fantastic. There's a rumor going around that you're the best porch band in the world. Is that right?
Well, we definitely I don't know. We're pretty good. Let's say that.
Yeah, you're very humble as well. I know you're coming to the UK. Is it later this month in June?
It is. Yeah, we're going to be there in June, and we have several UK dates. I've got probably can pull them up. Yeah. Oh, you got them. Good. I was going to say I don't have them all.
So, tell me about this. The new album you got, the Honeysuckle. Pretty good. It's acoustic. It's fabulous. Love it. Tell us a bit about it, will you?
Yeah. So it set out like originally. I started off. I was maybe going to do just like a solo acoustic record in my house, just for fun. I got set up to do some recording in the house, and I thought, well, this might be a cool thing to do. And then when I got into it, the nitty gritty of it, deep down in the mud of everything.
Yeah.
I decided that some of the songs were really just too good to be sort of a throwaway thing like that. That I wanted to do a whole album, and I needed to have the Big Damn Band on there too. I needed Breezy's vocals. I needed rhythm. I needed some more. I wanted the songs to be. I'll put it like this: I didn't want anything anything more than was necessary. if it was needed, then I wanted it on there. I didn't want to just say, hey, we're not going to do it just because I'm making this
kind of less is more type thing.
Exactly. Just only what's necessary and nothing more. And
I mean, you've got a reputation as being one of the greatest guitar players around as well. A finger picking good.
Well, I also on the record too. That was the same way I kind of did with the music.
Yeah.
Especially the guitar. I wanted it, not a single note that was unnecessary, with the exception of a couple songs. Once the record got in, we kind of got into it, I realized I wanted to have some of my friends on there too. So I reached out to some of our friends that are pros that are out there doing really cool stuff, and asked them if they wanted to be on the record, and everybody said yes, and it kind of turned into this thing where it started as going to be the solo record, and it's the most collaborative record we've ever released. Yeah. So in a lot of ways, it's the opposite of that, and I
was reading up about it. I mean, you had a great producer. Was it producer or mixer on the album? You did Stapleton and Jack White.
Yeah. So on the record, the fellow that mixed it is a fellow by the name of Vance Powell, and he's he produced our last record and mixed it. And since this one was produced by me just in the house, I wanted to have his expertise on mixing it just to clean it up and make sure that it was going to be the right thing, because he is without a doubt one of the top 2 or 3 mixing artists.
Well, of course, in the world. Say Jack White and Chris Stapleton. I mean, believe me, it doesn't get much better than that.
He's got 6 or 7 Grammys. I know Beyonce. With Beyonce's one of them. He's got Jack White, Stapleton. I mean, some of the biggest names in music.
You name drop you.
I know. What's crazy is,
it's a great
in
album.
His bio. What's sad is in his bio, it always lists them. It never lists me.
Listen, after this album goes out, he'll be listening. But don't worry.
Control her, I'd suit her. Control rain, I would rather wrestle with a coming train. Less a man might be drove insane, but I'm man enough, I don't want her tame. Honeysuckle on my mind, trouble, but it's all mine. Honeysuckle on my mind, trouble, but it's all mine.
There's one song on there, I'm so intrigued by it. I know it's a cover. Keep Your Lamp Light Trimmed and Burning.
Yeah, Keep Your Lamp Trimmed and Burning. It's an old spiritual song.
So we had an artist on here a little while ago called Watermelon Slim.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a harmonica version of it. And I couldn't believe it. And I think, what is this song all about? Where did it come from? So I started to research it. About a month later, we had a young girl from the UK come in. She told me all about this song. So, I mean, and you've done a version. I didn't get to hear it yet, but you've done a version of that as well. Because you play slide guitar, you play banjo, you play lots of different picking things. How did you approach that one? I haven't heard it yet.
Well, I wanted to kind of do a version that was very true to some of the roots of it. So, folks like Fred McDowell that have done it, and I'd say Blind Willie Johnson. I wanted to do versions that were very true to that, and so it's that one is just me and a National guitar, an old resonator, lots of slide guitar. That one's definitely very much.
I know where you got the
slide guitar one.
I know where you got the inspiration from your dad's record collection. So
yeah,
Neil Young and you got Bob Dylan. Hey, why not?
Well, that got me started, my dad was really into, especially, like Johnny Winter and 10 Years After. You know that band, 10 Years After?
I haven't heard that. No.
Yeah, so they're at Woodstock, and he he like 10 years after, and he loved Johnny Winter, and then really blues-based stuff like the Stones and
right.
Creedence, things like that.
Yeah.
And so when I was a kid, I was really into sort of the roots of all this stuff. You get a record, and I'd look at it, and I'd be like, so okay, the Rolling Stones, they're like, that's a Muddy Waters song. Like, who'd Muddy Waters listen to? And I would just go back and back and back to this the early rural American blues, man. That's where almost everything springs from. I mean, even country music as we know it,
absolutely,
was changed by early rural American blues. Whenever anyone's flats the third, whenever anyone flats the seventh.
The first person I heard say that was Elvis. All music's based on rhythm and blues, gospel rhythm and blues. It was the first guy I ever heard to say that statement. Let me ask you. So look, I'm dying to ask you. You've been at 38 countries around the world. I don't think there's many left. But how do you get back to church on a Sunday?
Once you've been to the show, you're good. You're absolved.
Does that take a big part of your life, being reverend?
Well, I mean, it's it's one of those things, man, where you can't pick your nicknames. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah, very spiritual though.
Well, when I was younger, I'll put it like this: when I was younger, when I was a kid, we went to church on Sundays, like like a lot of people do, and I was really just enamored with the music and the fellowship and the pitch-in dinners and all this stuff, and I loved it, and I thought that's what I wanted to do. I mean, I actually I considered going to seminary and started taking some of those classes. And when I kind of got out of that sort of kind of country church environment and into a classroom environment and studied it, I realized that necessarily wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But people everyone called me Rev back then. I've been called that since I was a teenager. So it's it's one of those things where it just kind of stuck. And I definitely, though, the way I write songs is influenced as much by old spiritual songs as anything. And the way the show is done, I think is influenced by sort of a the tent revival kind of setting as much as it is anything else.
It's funny, when you look at your body of work that you've done. I mean, you've been in the Rolling Stone magazine; they think you're awesome. The Billboard, you got to #1. I mean, you've been nominated one of top 25 blues artists. I mean, your track record is incredible. I mean, I was also surprised, and our viewers would be interested to hear this, that you played Glastonbury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My God, how cool was that?
Oh, it was awesome. That's a really, really wild festival. We played a lot of festivals all over the world. We've done some of the biggest in the United States. Bonnaroo is probably like the biggest that would be compared to Glastonbury. Bonnaroo to Glastonbury, they're probably, I don't know. Maybe they're friends. Maybe they hate each other. I don't know. But they're very similar in the way that they have their lineup and their stages and things like that. But Glastonbury is very strange. It is completely unlike anything that we've ever done. And
the snow is very, very big and very, very muddy.
It is, but it's also very kind of disjointed. And so this is what's interesting. Like at Bonnaroo runs every stage, right? Like every single stage is managed like it goes up to the top like a pyramid where it's raining down information. Where Glastonbury is more like a collective of stages. So each stage is almost its own festival, right? So we actually did 4 different stages, which was almost like doing 4 different festivals. There's 4 different people to communicate with, and the transportation, like getting everything through all that stuff is kind of like starting from scratch. It's very unique, man. It's very interesting.
Thereabouts, it hits 1 million people like live there, in the surrounding areas. So tell me a bit more about this album, Like a Treasure. I really like that. I mean, this album is very acoustic and it's very deep and blues, but you know what? It is immaculate. Well done, mate. It's fantastic. No wonder you're going to 38 countries touring it. It's fantastic. So where'd you get the inspiration from? And I know we talked about your dad's oak collection and stuff like that. So it's obviously because this album, well, some of your stuff is just really deep stuff. So you got a lot of blues in there, a lot of rock, bit of country, as it were, you know. But where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, this record, I had this overwhelming kind of feeling in my heart that where it was just like, you know, don't forget you're also this, right? So I wanted to just kind of do a record that was, I don't want to say the opposite of the last record, because I think that if you're a fan of our last record or the record before, I think you're going to love this record. It still feels very much like Reverend Peyton. It doesn't feel like some different thing. It's just, I wanted to kind of make a record that was a little bit more, I don't know, emotional maybe?
Control her, I'd suit her, control rain. I would rather rest with a coming.